Hey guys, Joe from the Hookin. It is August 24th, Wednesday, 2016, and this is one of my all-time favorite mug hug that I've made is Grumpy Bird. I love this guy. Check him out. So, anyways, I can't, it's sort of like a choice with him. Do I have, let's see here, a boring cup? Or do I liven it up and I have my adorable Grumpy Bird? And I am drinking some tea tonight, and I'm sorry for those of you who find that offensive or annoying, but my throat's been bothering me the past several days, so it's tea time. Anyways, I am so sorry about not having a post up last night, but a few mornings ago, one of my favorite all-time cats, Mitch, was snuck out the window. I was trying to get one of my other cats in, and little Mitchie snuck out the window on me. And in the process, less than 20 minutes later, she was slaughtered by a coyote. Because I got a coyote on the farm. I can't catch him. Let's put it that way. For those of you who don't like the idea of coyote being shot when they're killing your animals, I can't catch him fast enough to shoot him. But when I do, he's dead. I am sick of it. At the start of this month, remember I live on a 300-acre farm. I had 16 cats at the beginning of the month. I have 6. He's killed 9 out of 10 of the missing cats. And one of the cats was killed by a copperhead. Can't do anything about the copperhead, but I can do something about that darn coyote. So anyways, I spent yesterday outside in the heat. My body in heat, we don't get on. It irritates my dystonia, and so today was pretty painful. And I was taking Xanaflex that I use for muscle spasms and stuff. But anyways, I was out from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to about 20 after 9 last night, trying to get the third wall built on the porch. I had a temporary wall up, but now I've got a full wall up, so nothing is getting through that sucker. It's like a tank out there. I've got on there have you ever used Pet Proof screen? Because if you've got cats or annoying animals getting on your porch and you're tired of them ripping your screen up, get the Pet Proof, because that stuff works. It really works well. I had a coon tried to get through last night, and I was laying in bed laughing while I heard him trying to get through that screen. I was like, yeah, gotcha. So anyways, and then this afternoon, Tiger the cat, he was out there doing the, hi, watch me try to rip it. Didn't rip. So, pretty darn good stuff. So that made my day to know that the expense of it, just a second. The expense of it is, I got it at Walmart for $11.97 a roll. A roll was like 36 inches by 84, 86, something like that. And it's great. Really great. And it's nice to work with. I really liked getting it up. I still have 5 more windows to go. But in the meantime, they've got regular screen on it, and I'd really much rather have this stuff on there. So, we'll see what happens with it. But anyway, so that's what had me out yesterday. I was just so tired and sick from the heat when I came in last night that I just didn't feel like doing anything. I wanted to die. But anyway, so one thing I did see last night is for some reason, and I don't remember why, I was over on YouTube, and when I was there, I saw that one of my highest rated videos was the one that I did on Is Etsy Worth It? So I thought, well, people want to hear more about Etsy shops and stuff. So tonight I'm doing a special one up on the background on how I ended up going with Etsy and what I was doing in the meantime. So to cut to the chase, I'm going to take one more sip of tea in my very fun mug. I don't remember if I said this. I've had to redo this video so many times. I don't remember if I said it. So if I said this before, please forgive me. But you can get the pattern at Redwall. No. Red Heart. Sorry, I'm thinking of the book. You can get the pattern at Red Heart. I think that's where I got this one from. I'm almost positive. If not, and if you don't want to make it yourself, you can go pick it up in my Etsy shop, and the link is down below. But except more shot. Nothing like decaf. So, what happened was a number of years back, I had several strokes, and so I moved back to Brooklyn, and the only way the way I was supplementing my income when I was there was that I was teaching martial arts from my wheelchair. I had a wheelchair, a walker, forearm crutches, a cane, and I was sort of like using everything, and occasionally my students would hold me up to be able to demonstrate. And amazing. I mean, my gang was fantastic because they caught on somehow to my really poorly executed moves. And believe me, they were poor. After you've had a stroke, you're going to have some poor moves. But I got them off as best I could. And then I used Bruce Lee videos to try to say, oh, did you see the way he did that kick? Yeah, bingo, that's what it really looks like. And they were fantastic. I mean, they really got to be fantastic. So I was so proud of my students because, you know, for me in the shape that I was in and them learning, they were just amazing. So anyway, so that's what I did there. But the problem was that the sidewalks in Brooklyn are so bad that with the tree roots growing up and busting up the concrete, try running a walker over that without killing yourself. So it's got to the point where I had to pack it up and move back here to the family farm. So anyways, once I got here, it was like, great. There's no way living in the middle of nowhere that I can keep supplementing my income teaching martial arts. So I was like, okie dokie. So what am I going to do? So I went on the internet, which was basically new at the time, and I really didn't know much about it, but I kept looking around and I discovered web design. And where I picked it up at was I found this kid. His name was Dave Lindsay. He was literally a kid. I mean, seriously, a kid. He was the designer of and ran Brian Jakes, the author of the Redwall series. He ran his website, which it was crazy. He's got this little kid running this website. So eventually, Dave, when he was 16, decided to write a book. So I thought, if a 16-year-old wrote a book, he's had to have put it right in language that I can understand this, because I'm not understanding anything about it on the internet. And I didn't trust anyone to buy their stuff, so I went with Dave. So I got on Amazon, ordered that one, and then my favorite cartoonist, Mark Kistler, he had a book called Web Wizards that I also ordered, written for 8-year-olds, and I was like, definitely has to be in my age range. So I used those to learn how to design web pages. And so I learned HTML from it, a bit of JavaScript. I used it to design some software, and which was sort of a joke, but anyway. So I started, before the software though, I started trying my hand at website design, but I didn't have the confidence to design other people's websites, so I just kind of like let it pass. And so then I switched, and it was like, okay, let's try this. Here's software. I'll try writing software. Why not? So I did a little bit of software design, created the worst software on the face of the earth, sold a few. Poor people. I apologize to this day. I apologize for the software I designed. Oh my. So anyway, from there, I decided, okay, no, this isn't working, and this is just dumb, and I'm terrible at it. And so I was like, okay, what else can I do? And I thought, well, I like to write. So I started writing what I discovered was called PLR. And what PLR is kind of like having your own, it's like kind of like a ghostwriter, except you're not hiring the person in particular, you're just buying products that they've already written on certain topics. So if you like, let's say you wanted to write up blog posts on knitting, but you hate writing blog posts, you would go find somebody who writes the blog posts up, You'd see what their package is, what the topics are in the package, and then you buy it. And that way, all you have to do is post the things up, and you can chop them up, do anything you want to, create all kinds of different things with them, and put them on your blog. By the way, if you decide to look something up like that, be very, very careful, because some of it out there is pure crap. I'm just going to say it. Some of it is pure crap. And some of the stuff that might have statistics or something, they don't give you any listing of their resources like I used to. I used to put the resources on there. That way people could quickly go by, verify what I'd said and stuff. And they don't do that. And I've found with a lot of it that the stats are off and just all kinds of stuff. So just be careful if you decide to go the PLR route, because you can get really stiffed. But anyway, so I put a ton of time into it. I mean, countless hours. But the sales that I was getting from it didn't justify the effort that I was putting out. So I quit that. And I was like, okay, what's next? I was like, well, okay, product reviews. I'll do product reviews. So I started up another blog, and I started doing product reviews, and which was okay, but you know, it was like, once more, all the effort that you're putting into it, the amount of money I was getting off Amazon really wasn't worth it. So I stopped doing that. And the way I ended up stopping it altogether was the fact that I sat down one morning and I just looked around my room, and it was like, you know what? I hardly have anything to show for all the years that I've been trying to do stuff on the internet and supplement my income. This is stupid. I quit. And that's exactly what I did. I quit. I got up, I went back here to my craft room, and I looked down and I saw my a box of yarn, and that was like, you know what? I have not crocheted in a long time. So I picked up my crochet hook, grabbed some yarn, got on the internet, started looking for some interesting things to make, and oh my gosh, I discovered amigurumi. Oh, I never knew anything was like that, and it was so cute, and it was so fun. I mean, hello. Yes, I mean, seriously, can you resist? No. So I started making all kinds of crazy things like this, and little army dolls, and what else do I got here? This, and another duck, mommy duck. Started making these. I was buying amigurumi books, and all kinds of things. And then, oh yeah, then I found these things, and a cute little cat zippered purse and stuff that you would be surprised hello, I didn't know I had stuff in there. You'd be surprised how much this little sucker holds. And I had this, and I mean, just one thing after another. And then I ended up taking a course on designing your own amigurumis by Tracy, what's her name? Stacy Trock. I probably said her first name wrong. I'm so sorry. And then I started designing my own, and with my favorite being Yoki. Ta-da! Yoki! I love Yoki. He's so fun and cute. So anyways, I started making those, and I was having so much fun and enjoying it so much. I started putting them up on my Facebook page. Regular Facebook page, not a fan page, just my regular Facebook page. No intent on selling these things. I'm just doing it because, hey, look, I'm finally doing something fun rather than sitting at a typewriter. Sorry, laptop. So anyway, next thing I knew, I put up this cute little unicorn, and I started getting orders. I was like, can you make me this? And I'm like, why? I'm not making these things to sell. I'm not posting them for you to order from me. I'm putting them up because I think they're cute. And I was like, no, I want one. Okay, fine. You want one? I'll make you one. And then I got another order. And I got another order. And another order. And it was like, oh my gosh. And somebody just ordered a donkey. And it was like, I don't have a pattern for a donkey. So I had to fake it. So I faked a pattern for a donkey. And I mean, it just started rolling. And all it took was putting these up. And different ones kept saying, you have got to get something on Etsy. You've got to start an Etsy shop. And I was like, yeah, no. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do this full time. You know, I'm just having fun right now. What if I get bored? And then I've started a shop, and then I decide I'm going to quit. And then the next thing you know, I change my mind. No, I want to sell again. And then people are going to see my store and go, seriously? Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's gone. No, not doing it. So I just bypassed, you know, the whole idea on it. But I was making a lot of sales, and I was pulling in a nice amount of money, actually. And that's, which is funny, because if you go and you look at my Etsy shop now, you'll go, you've only got 25 sales, I think it is. Maybe 26. I don't know. I got confused. Somebody ordered a hat from me offline, and when I went to use the Etsy app, I didn't realize I was still signed in to my Hookin pattern shop. And so I put the cell in the wrong place. Yay me! So, but anyway, that one was supposed to be over there. And, you know, you look and you go, oh, you've only sold, I think, $900 and some worth. And it's like, oh, yeah, but that's just Etsy. That's not what I was selling the year before just on Facebook. And that's not using Shopify, guys. I'm not using Shopify on it. This was just people saying, oh, okay, I'll deposit the money through PayPal. Okay, go ahead. So that's how I was getting paid with it. I would post pictures on Facebook. People would see the pictures. They'd like the pictures. They'd order the product, or they'd come up with something else that they wanted instead, and I'd make it for them, and they would either come up the drive and pay me there, or they would just pay me through PayPal. It worked for me. Or someone would send a check, which I really didn't like getting checks. I'd much rather have it be paid through PayPal, because it's too hard to get to the bank around here. But anyways, so that was how I started with Etsy. It's because I was making so many sales on Facebook that it only made sense to switch to Etsy. And of course, then I started concentrating on Etsy, and you know, things are moving along. You know, some people may look and say, well, that's not a whole lot of sales. But when you figure that a lot of people who start out on Etsy don't even make $50 in their first year. You know, if you listen to, please, Jeff, don't come this way and knock my tea over. If you listen to various podcasts, you'll hear that, where they talk about it frequently, that a lot of people don't even make $50 in their first year. And that's because they don't stick to it. They don't keep trying. But, and I've sort of traded it off a little bit. I mean, I do both knitting and crochet. I've mixed up my shop. You can find hats on my shop. You can get toys on my shop. You can get Jeffy's tail in your tea if he's sitting on your lap. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff there. And the reason being is because mainly my focus is women who are grandmothers and also have children, may still have children, but they're also grandmothers still. And they like to buy like a one-stop shop. And so that's pretty much where my focus goes. It's people who are looking for a one-stop shop, so they don't have a lot of time. They can quickly go in, buy all kinds of things for anyone in their family, really. Or just contact me and let me know, place a special order. But the learning curve has been huge. I mean, really huge. I mean, I've had some advantage from internet marketing in the past, but, you know, and that's given me a little bit, but Etsy's different. And I think I'll do a separate video, because I'm already almost at 20 minutes on this one. But I'm going to do a separate video tomorrow that explains some of the things, some of the struggles that I've had in starting an Etsy shop, and, you know, how to hurt your stats by not using the Etsy app to record your offline sales, because my sales are much higher than what you see in the store. I just kept forgetting. I was like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to take my offline sales and stick them in Etsy. Yay! So, live and learn. But anyway, so tomorrow night I'll have part 2 where I'll cover what I've learned in having an Etsy shop, some of the problems that I've encountered in having, or problems, more like struggles, in taking on orders that you grow to hate, like the $450 pot holder order. Yes. Somebody ordered $450 worth of pot holders. And afterwards, I took the pattern and ran it through the paper shredder and informed the buyer, who happened to be a friend of mine, and she laughed and thought it was so funny. It was like, good, because I'm never making these again. But I learned. So tomorrow I'll share with you some of the lessons that I've learned from patterns that I've made that I hate, how they've been a positive thing, and I'll write up a blog post on it, because I think it'll really take both if I'm going to help some of you out who are newbies or who are considering starting up an Etsy shop. And if you heard a little squeak in the back, that was Tiger, the one who was test driving the pet-proof screen. So anyways, that's it for tonight. We're into, over 21 minutes. Okay, so that's it, and I will see you tomorrow. So from me, Jeff the cat, Grumpy Bird, and Whiny Little Tiger, good night.